I don't think any groove would have helped that one. I was recently sent some new wedges, and instead of just doing a review video, I thought, you know what, interesting topic. How often should you actually change your wedges? So I've got the new Mizuno T22 Wedge, 60 degrees, and then I've got a wedge from yesteryear out of my garage. I think, from memory, it's about 10 years old, this one, Titleist SM4, 60 degree, and as we can see, it's had a fair amount of use in there. But how much is that going to affect the performance? We're going to put these two up together. I'm going to have some chips around the green, and then I'm going to get some on my GC2 to see the spin rates and how much it's actually affecting the difference when we see used grooves. Let's get stuck into it. So a little bit about the wedges just before we get into hitting them. We've got the old one, the Titleist SM4, so the SM stands for spin milled, and the reason for that, it's got milled grooves across the face, so it's designed to generate more speed and more control as we go through it. As we can see, there's lots of rusting up there, and almost the grooves are starting to get a little bit wavy, as I would call it, and being filled in there because of how much they've been used. You see the bounce angle as well started to get a little bit rusted there because, again, of the use over the years. One of the other factors as well that might actually play into performance if you think about changing your wedges is the grip. So that grip hasn't been changed and it's gone very shiny, almost slippery as you hold it. So even potentially on full shots, I might not be able to swing as quickly because I won't feel as controlled, but that might come into it as well. But it would be down to that milling on the face. It's actually lost some of the finish off there now, and the grooves that were laser milled on there, as we would see at the start, they've started to wear away, so we're not going to see as much friction potentially with this. When we switch over to the Mizuno, brand new one, we see it's the boron steel as we go through, forged head, again has the milled grooves across the face. We might just be able to make those out, but the brand new there, we're not seeing much wear on the face at all, so it's going to get maximum friction on the golf ball as well. Brand new grip on there, so that's going to feel tacky in my hands and going to get that grip. Bounce as well, there's no wear down there, so overall, say brand new out of the packet, we should see that we're getting that maximum feel and the maximum friction off the face to create maybe more spin. But how much is that going to alter the performance? We're going to hit some short ones round the green, hit a few full ones, and then we're going to test it on the launch monitor later on. Let's get hitting some. So initial testing there around the green, hitting some wedge shots in. I think noticeably different on the long shots with Doze spin. We saw that the Mizuno was ripping back a little bit more there. When we got close in though, when I was hitting those pitches from sort of 10, 15 yards, 20 yards off the green, both acting very similar, sort of one hop and a stop. I would say the Mizuno just that little bit sharper on the stop, but still seeing that Titleist was having a similar effect. There was the odd little bit of run on. Obviously we've got to take into account it's moist out here, there's going to be less friction on the face, but still seeing that we were getting spin from both of those. What I'm now going to do to see how they actually are performing, we're going to hit 3 balls with each on the GC2 and have a look at those spin numbers to see how much it's going to affect it on the full shot. So we're going to see a real big difference in the numbers here. So we'll go the old wedge first with the Titleist. I'm going to make sure I clean the grooves each time and get the ball dry, so we're getting the most amount of friction that we can on each ball. But 3 golf balls, let's see how we go with this little one. Ball 1, let's go. Interesting, right? So that's 3 with the old wedge. Let's get 3 with the new wedge and then take a look at the results. What's interesting is that first one's gone quite a bit further. It felt like the same swing speed, felt like a good strike, just like the others with the other wedge, but notice that it's gone a little bit further. 2 more, let's see. Okay, so the results are in. Very interesting findings here. So looking at the spin, going to look at the launch angle, we're going to look at the carry. The Titleist, my old wedge there, 10 years old roughly, like I say, spin has come out at 6,442 revs. The total carry distance has come out as 70 yards and the launch angle has come out at 41 degrees. We jump into the brand new wedge, new grooves. We see it launches at 35, so it's launching a little bit lower. We see that the spin jumps up dramatically, 9,931, so 3,500 revs more of spin there. And then also the the carry has gone up to 86 yards, so we're seeing 16 yards more carry on that. The ball speed as well, just as a note, was 12 miles per hour different. Now, because I would imagine a couple of things, as we talked about the clubs earlier, the grip on the Titleist, very shiny, so not as feeling as stable in the hands, less friction on the face, so it's not able to actually come off and get that sort of bounciness off the face, as it were, because it's just slipping off the face because it's not getting that friction. So interesting that, like I say, 10 years old that wedge is. How old are your wedges, guys? Comment down below. Have you changed your wedges in the last year or so? Because I think that is quite an interesting thing. Maybe after 1 or 2 years, maybe it'd be good to do the test again with maybe 1-year-old wedge to see what the difference is. But if you're playing quite frequently and using your wedge quite a lot, like your 60 where it's out of the bunkers, in the rough and things like that, seeing there that there is a dramatic difference between those two. But like I say, maybe after 1 year you might not see as much, but something worth looking at if you're noticing a bit of downgrade in your performance with your spin now with your wedges. I'm seeing that there straight away with those. So interesting little test there. Really just thought I'd wanted to see what those outcomes were, and I didn't think that the spin would be that different with it. But guys, the results are in. The newer wedge is obviously going to spin more. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in your next video.